The Curriculum for Wales, a journey to purposeful learning. The Curriculum for Wales requires a new approach to curriculum design, one that is focused on supporting learners to progress towards the four purposes. This series of videos is designed to support your curriculum design processes. Each video supports expectations for designing learning through the lens of one of the 6 areas of learning and experience within the Curriculum for Wales framework. We will explore how the progress of learners can be improved through designing learning experiences with purpose, making deliberate decisions around why specific learning matters and is worthy of a place within our school-level curriculum design. In this video, we will focus on the languages, literacy and communication area as a vehicle to supporting learners in realising the 4 purposes. The languages, literacy and communication area addresses fundamental aspects of human communication and supports learning across the whole curriculum. Learning and experience in this area will help learners gain knowledge, skills and understanding in Welsh, English and international languages, as well as literature to communicate effectively. It will encourage learners to transfer their learning about how languages work and apply this when learning and using other languages. This multilingual and plurilingual approach aims to ignite learners' curiosity and to provide them with a firm foundation for a lifelong interest in the languages of Wales and the world. Our expectations for curriculum design within Curriculum for Wales encourages us to maintain a focus on the conceptual understanding within the statements of what matters. When we design curriculum content, we need to ensure that it allows learners to progress in the ways described in the principles of progression. In addition to deepening the understandings of the ideas and disciplines within the areas, our aim is to ensure learners are becoming increasingly effective and supported to make connections confidently. For example, learners may learn about Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, which could originate from several disciplinary angles: history, religion, values and ethics, English or literacy. A learner may even experience it multiple times during their education. But without understanding the purpose of the learning, or practitioners having a shared understanding of how each experience of this speech is building progressively, a learner might struggle to see the wider relevance of this learning as they develop. In a content-only driven approach, we risk learners simply focusing on the words in the speech, which could lead to a superficial understanding of who Martin Luther King was, his contribution to peaceful protest, or the power of the words he chose to use. Learners may gain impressive knowledge of Martin Luther King or the speech itself, but they may not realise the impact of the context in which he was speaking, with limited experience and skill development beyond the speech itself. They could extend their learning to his use of rhetorical language, symbolism, references to the Bible, or to previous events like Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. However, they might not appreciate the impact of events that influenced the words King chose to use and what he intended to achieve. His choice of tone, rhythm, surroundings could be lost to the surrounding imagery presented by media. How we experience this language through watching, listening or reading will impact how we understand the powerful use of persuasive language. With a content-only approach, contextual parallels and wider understanding of language risk being lost to an overcrowded list of topics that stand in isolation or are superficially linked. As the Curriculum for Wales evolves, we must move from this content-only learning approach, which prioritises the what, to a new approach that prioritises the why of learning. This new approach supports learners to see the wider relevance and purpose of a topic or issue by reframing it as an example designed to explore a larger concept, process, theme or principle. This enables each school and setting to understand how the National Curriculum for Wales framework is used to design learning that builds on what your learners already understand and have experienced. In this way, we can still include specific topics, knowledge, skills or experiences, but by reflecting upon and interrogating the why of teaching that topic or theme, we can develop it into a richer, more purposeful learning experience. Now, going back to the example of studying Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, as we continue to ask why, the relevance and purpose of our topic expands ever wider. We ensure that it has greater purpose. It allows us to understand the relevance and purpose of this speech, or to understand the use of persuasive language techniques, or explore its significance within a period of social change. If we want a powerful speech that uses persuasive language techniques, we could instead use a speech from the same period by Malcolm X. We need to ask why Martin Luther King, why this speech of his, and is it developmentally appropriate for learners? If we are aiming to understand the influence of a particular individual to instigate change, ask, is Martin Luther King the only example of this? We could explore how learners are influenced by a wide range of individuals on social media, and ask how can language and diverse experiences connect individuals and groups? Or how learners can experience this type of language if they cannot read or hear. To cultivate empathy in learners, we can employ diverse language techniques that encompass various forms of expression and communication. This supports learners to critically understand language and be aware of their use when expressing themselves and creating their own literature. This will inform an understanding of one or more of the statements of what matters for languages, literacy and communication, such as how expressing ourselves through language is key to communication. Replacing the teaching of isolated topics with a focus on broader conceptual understanding illustrated by significant people, events or issues facing humanity, we move learners from the feeling that they are working through a list of unconnected topics to a place where they can see wider concepts and draw parallels and connections between different areas of their curriculum, creating a richer, more engaging and purposeful learning experience for all. So, what next? You can access further support on Hub to guide you on your journey to realise the curriculum for Wales. Education in Wales is evolving to ensure our young people are equipped with the knowledge, skills and experiences that will support them now and in the future.